Welcome everyone. If you have ever wondered how to secure full marks in a 10-mark question for IB Business Management, you are in the right place. In this video, I'll take you through a step-by-step approach to writing a well-structured, analytical and high-scoring response. Whether you struggle with using business tools correctly, connecting to the case study or structuring your evaluation, don't worry, I have got you covered. By the end of this session, you will have a clear strategy to confidently tackle any 10-mark question and consistently score highest mark band to full marks. So grab a notebook, stay focused, and let's dive into the secrets of writing a perfect 10-mark answer. Before you even start writing your answer, the most important step is to understand the question fully. Many students lose marks simply because they misinterpret what the examiner is asking or what exactly is the expectation of the question asked. Let's break it down into three simple steps. First, focus on the command terms. IB Business Management uses specific words like examine, evaluate, discuss, and justify. Each of these requires a different approach. For example, if the question asks you to evaluate, you must provide both advantages and disadvantages before reaching a final judgment. If it says justify, you need to support your argument with strong reasoning and evidence. Second, identify the key topic and concepts. What is the question really asking? Are you discussing leadership styles, pricing strategies, or market entry methods? Highlight the important terms in the question to stay on track. Finally, always consider the case study. A high scoring answer doesn't just give general theory, it applies concepts directly to the business in the case study. Instead of just saying a penetration pricing strategy helps attract customers connected to the given business. For XYZ company, penetration pricing would allow them to enter a competitive market with lower initial prices, helping them gain market share. So remember, understanding the question is half the battle won. Misreading it can cost you valuable marks, but if you break it down using these three steps, you will set yourself up for success. Let's move on to the next step. One of the biggest mistakes students make in 10-mark answers is not using business tools and theories correctly. If you want to score in the top band 9 or 10 marks, you need to show that you can apply the right business frameworks, concepts, and models in a relevant and accurate way. Let's break this down into three key points. First, apply relevant business tools. If the question is about a company's expansion strategy, you might use the ANSOF metrics. If it is about a company's product portfolio, you could apply the BCG metrics. If the question focuses on analyzing strengths and weaknesses, then SWOT analysis is your go-to tool. But remember, it's not enough to just mention these tools. You need to apply them effectively to the case study. Second, support your arguments with business theories. If the question involves motivation, refer to Maslow's hierarchy of needs or Herzberg's two-factor theory. If it is about leadership styles, bring in autocratic, democratic, or laissez-faire leadership concepts. Using these theories shows examiners that you understand how businesses make strategic decisions. Third, ensure accuracy and relevance. Simply throwing in business tools won't get you marks. You must apply them correctly to the case study. Let's take an example. If a question asks about a company's growth strategy and you state the company should use the ANSOF metrics, you won't get many marks. Instead, be specific. Say, since XYZ company is launching a new product is in an existing market, the most relevant growth strategy is the ANSOF matrix is product development. This kind of precise application will make your answer stand out. So, to sum up, always use the right tools, apply relevant theories, and ensure accuracy in your explanations. This will help you build strong, well-structured arguments that will impress examiners and secure you to the top marks. Now let's move on to how you should structure your answer. Now that we understand the importance of business tools and theories, let's talk about how to structure your answer to maximize your marks. A well-structured response isn't just easier for the examiner to follow, it also ensures you fully answer the question. Think of it like building a strong foundation for a house. If your structure is weak, no matter how good your content is, you won't get full marks. Here's the way to structure your 10-mark answer. First, the introduction. Start by defining key terms from the question. This shows the examiner that you understand the core concepts. Then, briefly outline what your response will cover. This gives your answer a clear direction. For example, if the question is about pricing strategies, your introduction might say, this response will evaluate cost plus pricing and penetration pricing, analyzing their impact on profitability and market share for XYZ company. Next, the body paragraphs, at least 2 to 4 paragraphs. Each paragraph should be structured as follows. Point. Make a clear statement relevant to the question. Second, application. Use the case study or stimulus material to support your point, like giving an evidence for what you are analyzing is relevant to the business mentioned in the stimulus. Third, analysis. Explain the impact using business tools and theories. Fourth, evaluation. Consider advantages, disadvantages, or limitations. Let's take an example. If the question asks whether a company should expand internationally, one of your paragraphs might say expanding into international markets can increase revenue due to a larger customer base. For example, XYZ company could enter the European market to attract more customers. Becomes application. Using ANSOF metrics, this would be classified as market development, which carries risks such as cultural differences and regulatory challenges, which becomes analysis. However, a strong global brand strategy could help mitigate these risks, becomes evaluation. Finally, the conclusion. Summarize the key points you discussed in your response. Provide a final judgment that directly answers the question. Include a brief evaluation by mentioning any limitations of the case study or the business situation and how it would have affected your judgment. Example, while penetration pricing can attract customers in the short run, its long-term profitability depends on brand positioning and customer loyalty. Ultimately, the best pricing strategy for XYZ company depends on its competitive environment and cost structure. By following this structure, introduction, body, conclusion, your answer will be clear, logical, and well developed, giving you the best chance of scoring 9 or 10 marks. And that brings us to the end of part 1 of this 3-part series. I hope you found this video useful and insightful in laying the foundation for mastering the 10-mark answer structure in IB Business Management. Remember, understanding the basics is just the beginning. And in the next parts, we'll dive deeper into applying business concepts, structuring evaluation, and refining your responses with real case study examples. Got any questions so far? Feel free to drop them in the comments. I am here to help clarify any doubts or concepts before we move on to the next stage. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you don't miss part 2 and part 3. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content for IB learners like you. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in part 2. Keep learning, keep practicing and all the best. on your IB journey.